Struggling with Add Maths Quadratic function? Let us solve some typical Form 4 MS question together step by step. Hello everybody, my name is Terry. Welcome to our Tutor Daily channel. In this video, we're going to go through question from Form 4 MS Topical Practice Book, Chapter 2, Paper 1. This is designed to help students to strengthen their understanding and prepare effectively for examination. Let us get started. All right, so the first one, you are given a quadratic equation with the roots of h minus 2 and 4k. So I wouldn't use SORPUR to solve it. I think it's be easier just to factorize and compare your roots. Okay, how do you do that? We expand the bracket first. 2x squared minus 5x equals x plus 8. Bring over 2x squared minus 6x minus 8 equals 0. Can we divide by 2? When you divide by 2, you get this. You double bracket factorize. Your factor should be 4 and 1 minus and plus. So x is negative 1 or 4. Okay. So once you got these two answers, right, what you do is we compare. The roots h minus 2, it can be negative 1. It can also be 4. So bring over h is 1 or 6. Two answers, right? Similarly, 4k can be negative 1 and your 4k can be 4. So k is negative 1 over 4 or 1. Okay, so question number 2, 4 and p plus 1, they are the roots of this quadratic equation, right? So here we can use SORPUR. Okay, we use SORPUR when you're given the roots alpha and beta, and you're given unknown in your equation here, ax squared plus bx plus c. So I hope you know which one's your a, which one's your b, which one's your c. So the formula for SOR is given as this, alpha plus beta negative b over a. Your alpha is 4, beta is p plus 1. Your b is negative q minus 3. Remember there's a negative outside. Your a is 1. So p plus 5 is minus q plus 3. Now, the problem is we have two unknown. If you have two unknown, you need to form two equations. Maybe I just leave p as a subject. This is minus q minus 2, equation number 1. Then let's work out our POR. POR's formula is what? Alpha times beta is c over a. So what is your alpha? Your alpha is 4, beta is p plus 1. The result is c over a. Okay, guys, what's your c? Your c is 24, a is 1. So expand, I think we can just solve this. P plus 1. 24 divided by 4 is 6. P equals to 5. Right? So once you got the value P, we sub inside equation 1. So 5 equals minus q minus 2. Bring it over. Q is positive. 5 bring over is negative. Minus 2 minus 5. Q is minus 7. Question number 3. So given a quadratic function, this one you have to complete the square. Fx equals to this, right? Express this in this form. Okay, so everybody, what do you do first? You take fx, right? You take out your h. You take out your h. You're left with x squared plus 2 divided by h, x plus 3. Okay, be careful with this. Hello, everybody, be careful with this. When you take out your h, right? This one becomes 2 over h. Cannot. Hello? Shh. Now, next, we're going to complete the square. Remember, the way in which we complete the square, you need to add a number. The number, right? Okay, this is the annoying part, everybody. You need to divide by 2. Okay, this is the annoying part. You got to figure out 2 over h divided by 2. You square, then you minus it off, then you plus 3. Okay, very annoying. Your school expect you to do that. You need to plus and minus. Now, then combine it. So for me personally, I find this is very silly because I would write, 2 over h divided by 2 is what? 2 over h times 1 over 2, right? Cancel, cancel. 1 over h. Do you need to write step by step? We know today if I give you a cake, right? Hello? Like this is, I divide into 5 parts. This is 2 over 5. What is half of 2 over 5? 1 over 5. Right? Just half of it, right? Just half of it, right? So, well, we just divide by 2. I'm going to write this as x plus 1 over h square then you minus the same thing off. Okay, be careful about this one. You got to square it. It's 1 over h bracket square, right? Okay, now next, this is h of x plus 1 over h x. You minus, multiply inside 1 over h plus 3. Okay, so with that, what's the maximum minimum? Everybody, this is your minimum. Okay, by the way, the question asks us to write in this form. Okay, we have already written in this form in terms of h. Now, next, they say if h is less than 0, right, state the type, the type of turning point and the coordinate turning point. Okay, remember, your coefficient of x squared determine whether it's a minimum or maximum. If a is more than 0, is minimum. A less than 0 is maximum. So your h is now less than 0. So it's what? Maximum point, huh? Hello, you all know this, right? Maximum point. Okay, now next, we know that the maximum minimum is the one outside the bracket. Maybe I write here. Your maximum is this, negative 1 over h plus 3. Now this occur when the one inside the bracket equals 0, x is negative 1 over h, right? So what is the coordinate of your maximum point? Your coordinate, we write x and y. So I know this is a bit more difficult because you have to give your answer in terms of unknown h, right? So this is your x, this is your y. Just leave it in this form. Diagram shows the graph of function fx. Okay, guys, your fx is now x squared plus px minus 7. So we're going to add a number. Hello, guys, what is the number that we're adding here? We are adding p over 2 square, and then you minus this off. Hello, right? We add and then we subtract. So now the first 3 terms we can combine. So when you combine this, we write this as x plus p over 2 square minus p square over 4 minus 7. Remember this? Yeah. Right? Yeah, you're going to take half of it. So if this is, you balance the equation. Correct? Plus b squared, correct. Correct. Yeah. So you're warming up. Very good. Okay. So guys, I completed the square already, right? So in this form, done. Now next, the question say, find the value of P and Q, right? So guys, how to find P and Q? So we look at your diagram. Your y is Q when x is 3. So my fx has a minimum. My minimum is this, right? And we say the minimum, maybe I write here, equals to negative, sorry, there's a negative p squared over 4 minus 7. Now, this happens when x is 3. Now, let us compare with the minimum from the graph. Now, you look at the graph, right? What's the minimum? What's the minimum value? Q, right? Hello? So, your minimum is your y value. Your y is negative p squared over 4 minus 7. Now, we cannot solve this. You can call it equation 1 if you like. I cannot solve this yet. Why? Because I have 2 unknowns, P and Q. So we need to go back to second value here. What is this? This is your axis of symmetry. Everybody, we can compare, right? Axis of symmetry. Okay, sorry, I wrote this wrongly. This x is supposed to be from here. X is negative p over 2. So can we take this axis of symmetry from the graph, compare with the axis of symmetry from your equation? So we say negative p over 2 is 3. P is negative 6, right? So as I sub inside equation 1, my Q is negative minus 6 squared over 4 minus 7. Guys, this is 36 over 4. 36 over 4 is what? 9, right? Negative 9 minus 9 minus 7 minus 16. Okay, so you got your P and you got your Q. All right, next, state the changes to the graph when p equals 5. So the changes to graph is something in your new KSSM syllabus. So I suppose your teacher will test you more, or SPM will test you more, right? So when p equals 5, before this, your p is what? Your p is -6. Remember, if your a is more than 0, your b is less than 0, the graph is on the left or right. Do you still remember this? The graph is on the right. If you cannot remember, go back to this formula. What is this? This one done in maths. This is called the equation of axis of symmetry. If your a and b has a different sign, they are on the right hand side. Let's say a positive, b negative, the graph on the right. If your a is positive, b is positive, then the graph's on the left. Now your a is positive, right? Your p becomes 5. P also positive, right? So the graph's supposed to be on the left. If you are not sure, it's okay. Just use a formula. What is your p now? P is 5. P is your b. B is a coefficient of x. What's your a? Your a is 1, right? Your x is -5/2. Okay? Meaning the graph is shifted to the what? To the left. So answer is the graph is shifted to the left. But you cannot say the graph is shifted to the left by how many? It's not true. Why? Because it depends. B alone doesn't tell us how many you need. It depends on your A. Because the formula itself, you see, before this, right? What is your axis of symmetry? If your P is -6, what is your axis of symmetry? Your axis of symmetry is negative of -6 over 2 times 1, which is 3. So you're shifting from 3 to -5/2. So you're shifting by how many unit here? 5.5 unit. But do you need to write that? No. Yeah, just say it's shifted to the left, good enough. Let's look at the next one. So now, given that quadratic function, quadratic equation has a positive and negative root, find the range of values of k. Okay, this one is very interesting. A lot of people wouldn't have thought about this. What do I mean by a positive and a negative root? Some people say b squared minus 4ac cannot. You know why not? B squared minus 4ac tells us whether it cuts at 2 points, touches at 1 point, or having no intersection. That's about it. Okay, so now we're talking about, let's say, for example, you can have both positive root. You can have one positive root, one negative root, something like this. Or you can even have both the roots negative, -4, -0, something like that. Okay, so how does this, what should I use? Okay, let me show you one diagram. Let's say my alpha and beta is here. This is your SOR, this is your POR. If your alpha is positive, beta is positive, what's your SOR going to be? 2 positive numbers add together, guys. Wait, 2 positive numbers. This one is not in my notes. I don't do this in my notes. This is extra more challenging K-bar question. What's your SOR? Positive, right? 2 positive number add together is positive. 2 positive number times together. Remember, POR is multiply. SOR is sum plus together. But one positive, one negative, what happened? If one root is positive, one root is negative, can you tell me whether the SOR is positive or negative? Answer is no. Why? Because I don't know whether the positive number is bigger or the negative number is bigger. We don't know. But your POR certainly is going to be negative. If this is negative, positive, same thing. It can be minus, can be plus. But again, POR is negative. Why? For example, -3 times +4. Is your product positive or negative? Answer is negative. And if you have both negative, what happened? Your SOR is going to be negative. However, your POR is positive. Why? 2 numbers that are negative, -2 and -3, you times together is always positive. Yeah, and 2 numbers that are negative, you add together is always negative. Yeah, this one is very interesting, and probably a lot of people haven't seen this before. Now, with that, first we rearrange. I'm going to bring the x to the left, plus 3k plus 12 equals 0. My question is, do I use SOR? Do I use POR? Hello? They say one positive, one negative. We are referring to the second and third case. We cannot use SOR. Okay, for 2 reasons. Because SOR, we can't tell exactly whether it's positive or negative. But at the same time, it doesn't help us to find K, right? What helps us to find K? Your C. So we have to use PUR, and my PUR is going to be less than 0. So the formula is, remember PUR is C over A less than 0, 3K bring over less than -12, K less than -4. Okay, let's continue part B. Okay, number 5B. So this quadratic function, let me rewrite this. It has a minimum point here, right? So what is your minimum? My minimum is 3K when X is H. Okay, now tell me how to find H and K in terms of P. We need to compare. So this is a minimum point. Everybody, if you were to write in coordinate, right? It's up to you. You want to write in coordinate. This coordinate is H3K. You can compare with T plus 1 and 2T squared. So by comparison, H is T plus 1, right? So you got your H in terms of T. 3K is 2T squared. K is 2 over 3T squared. Easy. This is quite a standard question. Just complete the square. Everybody, to complete the square, right, you have minus 8x. You're going to add a number. We're going to take -8 divide by 2 square root, -8 divide by 2 square root plus 5. So 1, 2, 3 can combine into x minus 4 squared. 4 squared is 16 plus 5. Answer x minus 4 squared minus 11. Okay? Hello? Now tell me what's your m and n. You express in this form, right? This is your x plus m plus n. You compare. By comparison, m is -4, n is -11. Okay? Yes? All right, that is part A. Okay, part B. Let me move part B. You've seen this before, right? A straight line intersect the curve at 2 points. Find the range of values of K. Now, when a straight line intersect the curve at 2 points, you have how many real root? Everybody, how many real root do you have? 2. So if you have 2 real root, your b squared minus 4ac should be more than 0, less than 0, equals 0? More than 0, right? So let's call this equation 1, call this equation 2. I'm going to sub 1 in 2. So your 2x plus k is now x minus 1 squared. So can we expand the bracket here? So when you expand, you should get x squared minus 2x plus 1. Bring over to the right. X squared minus 4x plus 1 minus k equals 0. Okay, from here on, what do you do, everybody? We do our b squared minus 4ac. It's quite easy. We know it's going to be more than 0. My b is -4. I square it. My a is 1. My c is 1 minus k. The result is more than 0. So let's solve for k. So this is actually 16 minus 4. It's up to you. Some people expand the bracket. Okay, I tell you what, I just expand. I think most people would prefer if I expand the bracket. This is 12, right? 12 plus 4k more than 0. 4k is more than -12. K is greater than -3. In the event that they say give your answer correct to 3 decimal point, we know we cannot factorize. All right. So if you cannot factorize, you have 2 options, either completing the square or using quadratic formula. I know a lot of people prefer quadratic formula. They find completing the square a bit harder. Okay, so I'm going to show you quadratic formula here. This will be x squared minus 4x plus 4 equals 3x plus 7. Bring it over, minus 7x minus 3. 4 minus 7 is -3. So remember, quadratic formula is given as minus b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. So what is my b? My b is -7 plus minus square root -7 squared 4ac over 2a. So this is 7 plus minus. Okay, this is 49, right? 49 plus 12. 60 what? 61, right? You cannot use your brain, use calculator, right? Isn't it? Okay, divide by 2. So use your calculator and count one shot. So this one you have to use a calculator because it's in decimal. Square root 61 over 2. My first answer is negative 0.405. Yeah, negative 0.405. Second answer, change the negative here to positive. Your answer is 7.405. 7.405. Okay. Okay, let's talk about part B now. Okay, so the graph of this function has a maximum value at minus 415. Find the range of values of h. Okay, so first of all, let me rewrite this. This is negative h of x minus 2k squared plus m plus 3. Be careful. The m plus 3, push it at the back, is your maximum or minimum. So they say find, it has a maximum point. Find the range of values of h. So if it has a maximum, right, your negative h should be less than 0, right? It cannot be more than 0, must be negative. So what's your h? H is more than 0. All right, next, find the values of k and m. Okay, can we identify maximum, minimum? My maximum is m plus 3. This happens when x equals to 2k. So we can write in coordinate form. If you write in coordinate form, you write 2km plus 3, and you compare with the coordinate that I have here, minus 4 and 15. Okay, not? So by comparison, 2k is negative 4, k is negative 2. M plus 3 is 15, m is 12. So my fx is now more than 1. So let's number 8a. We take 9 minus 2x, 3x squared. This is more than 1. So bring everything to the right hand side. Or you can bring to the left. Everyone, you can bring to the left. Then you multiply negative 1. I like to bring everything to the right. So this is positive. This one becomes negative. 1 minus 9 is negative 8. Now remember, when I bring everything to the right hand side, it's actually 0 more than this. I just don't write so many steps. Everybody, I just don't write so many steps. So I write this less than 0 straight away. Okay. Now from here, we can, what do you call, factorize first? What is the factor of 24? 3 times 8, 24, right? Hello, factor of 24 is 6 and 2 plus and minus, right? The roots are 2 over 3 and negative 2. So let's do a sketch. 2 over 3 and negative 2. Now, less than 0. Which part of the graph is less than 0? Hello? Shh. Below. Remember, more than is the 2 region above. Less than is the region below. Just move it up. Okay, and from here, you're with me, everyone? Your x value is between minus 2 and 2 over 3. Okay? Guys, sorry, I wrote this wrongly. This is 4. 6 and 4. So therefore, this is 4 over 3, not 2 over 3. Thank you. This is 4 over 3. So that's your answer. Okay? X between minus 2 and 4 over 3. How about the next one? Hello, part B. We are going to sketch a graph. Okay, how do you sketch this graph? Shh, guys, your minimum is what? Minimum, maximum. This is maximum because your A is less than 0. My maximum is the one outside the bracket, which is negative 2. And this happens when the one inside the bracket is 0, x is 1. So this is going to be a 1 and a minus 2 is a maximum. Remember, minimum means the smallest, the lowest point. Maximum means this is the highest point. So the graph should go up, cut at one point, and come back down. So we need to find our x-intercept. Okay, everybody, at x-axis, y-intercept. By the way, do you have any intersection x-axis? No, you don't have. You won't have. You try to count, no answers. So, but we know at y-axis, maybe I write here, y-axis, x is 0. So you put 0 inside. This is minus 3, 0, minus 1 square, minus 2. Minus 3, minus 2, this is minus 5. Everybody, this is minus 5. And my graph is done. Okay, a quadratic equation has a roots of alpha, beta. Find in terms of p, q, x. The quadratic equation with the roots of 1 over alpha, 1 over beta, give you answer in this form. Okay, so first of all, guys, remember this SOR, POR? Your SOR will be what? Alpha plus beta minus b over a. Guys, my a is 1. This is my a, my a is 1. My b is p, my c is q. So negative b over a. So alpha plus beta is minus p. Leave it. Then let's work out our POR. POR is what? Alpha times beta, c over a. Your c is q, right? Okay, so I got this ready. Now I need to form a new quadratic equation with the roots of 1 over alpha and 1 over beta. So you can call it new SOR if you like. 1 over alpha plus 1 over beta. How do you combine this? Today, if I give you 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3, what must you do? Times 2, 3 times 3 times 2 times 2, right? Make sure they share the same what? Same denominator, right? Now, similarly, you can write beta plus alpha, but I like to write alpha plus beta over alpha beta, right? I prefer to write this. You can write beta plus alpha, it's not a problem. Why? Because my alpha plus beta is what? What's the alpha plus beta now? Negative p. So let's put negative p inside. What's the alpha beta? Q. So let us substitute inside. Now then let's work out our new POR. Your new POR is 1 over alpha times 1 over beta, which is 1 over alpha beta. Okay. And we can form our new equation. Guys, what's the new equation? X squared minus, take your new SOR, sub inside, take your new POR. Oh, wait, sorry, I forgot something. Shh. I forgot to sub in. Hey, wait a minute. Yeah, I haven't put in my Q yet. So your new equation is x squared minus negative p over qx. For those who cannot remember, the formula that we use to form an equation is this: x squared minus SORx plus POR equals 0. So your POR is 1 over q, let it be 0. Okay. Now, one more step. Everybody, one more step. You multiply everybody by q. So qx squared plus px plus 1 equal 0. Hello? Cannot do more. Let's look at number part B here. Okay, so this quadratic equation has roots of alpha and beta where alpha not equals beta. Okay, so this is like a bit hidden here. Guys, what should I use? Should I use SOR POR? Should I use b squared minus 4ac? What do you think? What is this actually? What does this mean? Alpha not equals to beta. Means what? Means what? It has what? Two different what? Two different roots. If it's two different roots, your b squared minus 4ac should be more than 0. You know, in Bahasa we say isi tersirat, right? It's like indirect. You need to know that, right? So this is 2k minus 1 square, 4k k minus 3 more than 0. Expand the bracket, 4k squared minus 4k plus 1 minus 4k squared plus 12k more than 0. So the good news is the 4k squared and 4k squared, we can cancel. So you're left with minus 4. So yeah, the minus 4, you can plus 12. 12 minus 4 is what? 8, right? Okay, bring it over. 8k more than negative 1, k more than negative 1 over 8. That's a range of values of, okay. So this one, you have a maximum value of h plus 1. So you're supposed to express h in terms of k. So number 1, let us take out the negative up. Okay, if you have hard time like seeing this, right, I suggest rearrange first in general form. And here I'm going to take out negative. This will be x squared, positive 4x. Keep your k outside. Okay, second step, I'm going to add the number. Guys, what is the number that I have to add here? 4 divided by 2 square minus it off then keep the k outside. Right? So let us put this together. This should be x plus 2 square minus 4 plus k. Take this negative, multiply inside. Okay, I've got this already, right? And with that, what is my maximum? Everybody, we know it's maximum for two reasons. Number one, the question already mentions maximum. Number two, this is negative. Your maximum is the one outside the bracket. See this? What is outside the bracket? 4 plus k. And that equals to the maximum value that is given in the question, which is h plus 1. And you're supposed to express h in terms of k. So your h is now, bring this over. You can write 3 plus k, or you can write k plus 3. Doesn't matter. Just bring it over. Yeah? Okay, not difficult. Let's look at part B now. Okay, part B is actually a quadratic inequality. Yeah? Everybody, part B is a quadratic inequality. So let's expand this bracket. 4x squared plus 4x plus 1 is less equals to 19x minus 8. So bring everything to the left-hand side. 4x squared. Okay, what is 4 minus 19? Negative 15, right? 8, bring over, plus 1, you get 9. Okay, 4 and 9. 4 times 9 is 36. Factor of 36, 36 and 1, some more. 18 and 2, 12 and 3, 9 and 4, 6 and 6. So which combination gives us 15? 12 and 3. So I should just put double bracket here. 12 and 3, they are both negative. Let us sketch our graph. Guys, the roots are what? The roots are 3 over 4 and 3. Now, less equals 0 means the region is below. So you shade the region below, move it up. And you can tell that your x value is between 3 over 4 and 3. So this is question number 11. So you have a graph of quadratic function here, where p is a constant. You're supposed to find value p and q. So number one, you can see from the diagram, right? You have what we call the axis of symmetry, which basically is the midpoint of the roots q and 6. So you can actually start from the graph. That is, you find your axis of symmetry. Your axis of symmetry is q plus 6 divided by 2. Then based on this function, right, maybe I rewrite the function for you. Fx is negative x minus 2 square plus p. Now you can see your negative indicates that it has a maximum. Now, our graph already validated that, right? It is a maximum, right? Your maximum is p when the one inside the bracket is 0, x is 2. So you will have to rewrite, or should I say compare q plus 6 over 2 with your axis of symmetry from the function, yeah, or the equation. Now this is the axis symmetry from the function or the equation. This is the axis symmetry from the graph. By comparison, you times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 6. Q is minus 2. Okay. Now, how about P? Now, you cannot find the maximum from the graph because they don't give you the maximum value. So what we can do is we can sub in a coordinate. You can, in this case, you only have, you can use this point, 6, 0. Now, you can even use Q, but if you make a mistake in Q, right? So Q is minus 2, 0. You can sub minus 2, 0 as well. I prefer to sub in the original value, 6, 0. So my y or fx is 0. My x is 6. I can find my p. This is negative 16, right? Bring over, p is 16. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 squared is 16. Negative bring over, p is positive 16. So there you go. You got your answer for p and q. Now, next, find equation of the quadratic function when it's reflected in the x-axis. So now that you know your fx is negative x minus 2 squared plus 16, when you reflect in the x-axis, your y value will change. Now, if you want, you can sketch. The graph now looks like this. Before this, your maximum is 16. When the x is 2. Your axis of symmetry, you can see here is 2. Now, when you reflect it, it becomes negative 16. Your axis of symmetry remains unchanged. But one thing, you need to change the sign in front here, because before this is negative. Now it becomes positive because it's a minimum, no longer maximum. So basically, you just multiply everybody by negative. Your function becomes positive x minus 2 squared minus 16. Okay. Right. Okay. Not difficult, right? All right. So moving on. Let's look at part B. So you have a quadratic function where p is constant. By finding the range of values of p, determine whether the function fx can be always negative. Okay, so this is a bit interesting. Now, remember, always negative happens when the whole graph lies below the x-axis and your a is less than 0. So there are two conditions here. When it lies below the x-axis, it has no real root. There's no intersection x-axis. Your b squared minus 4c must be less than 0 and a must be less than 0. Always positive is the other way around. Your a is more than 0, but your b squared minus 4c is still less than 0. Less than 0. Because if it's more than 0, right? More than 0 means it intersects either this way or this way. This is more than 0. More than 0 means it has two real roots. So this is always positive. This one is always negative. So two conditions to take note. Okay, maybe we start with the easy one. The first one is your a, 1 minus b. Should I write 1 minus b? This is your a, right? Is always less than 0. Bring the p over to the right. P is greater than 1. So this is the first condition. Second condition, we're going to do b squared minus 4ac. This one's your a less than 0. Second condition is your b squared minus 4ac is now less than 0. Okay, let me move up a little bit. Okay, so we know your b is negative 4. You square it, your a is 1 minus b. Your c is 2. The result is less than 0. When you square this, you get 16. This is 8 plus 8p less than 0. This will be 8, right? Yeah, okay. I just write a bit more step, correct? Bring to the right-hand side, 8p less than negative 8, p less than negative 1. Now, you notice one thing, if you try to, solve this inequality simultaneously, because you have to combine them, right? So you find the range of values of p. We can see that p is less than negative 1. I'm using a number line to represent that. So p is more than 1. This is p less than negative 1. This p more than 1. So meaning you cannot have a p value that satisfies both conditions, right? Your p cannot be less than negative 1 and more than 1 at the same time. So it cannot fulfill this condition of a less than 0 and b squared minus 4ac less than 0. So because of that, we say since there is no solution, right? No solution for p, therefore fx cannot be always negative. Yeah, meaning it can have it can be like this. You can have a less than 0, but it will be like this, or you can have b squared minus 4ac less than 0, but it's like this. So it can be always positive. It can be positive, 0, and negative at the same time, but it can never be always negative. Number 12, part A, a quadratic equation has roots of alpha and beta. Sum of roots is 2, sum of square roots is 10. Express the quadratic equation in this form. So this is very interesting. Sum of root is alpha plus beta. It is 2. Sum of squares of root means what? Alpha square plus beta square equals to 10. So understand, what is your end game? What do you want at the end of the day? At the end of the day, you want to form an equation. And the formula to form the equation is SOR. In this case, your alpha plus beta, x plus BOR, which is your alpha beta. The result is 0. So one thing that we don't have here, we don't have alpha beta. So we need to find alpha beta from here. So take note, the moment we take alpha plus beta and we square it, we should have 3 terms. You will have alpha square, 2 alpha beta, and beta square, right? So what I would do is I will bring the 2 alpha beta to the left. Should I just maybe not.
maybe I just not do that. I would just group, find what I want. I do a bit slower. I will write alpha square plus beta square plus 2 alpha beta. I write like this. No need to rearrange. Okay, why? My goal is to find alpha beta, which is here. I am given alpha plus beta. I'm also given alpha square plus beta square. So I already know all this. So alpha, the purple one, I sub inside here. The blue one, I sub inside here, right? So let us take alpha plus beta, which is 2. I square it equals to alpha square plus beta square, which is 10, plus 2 alpha beta. So 4 minus 10, negative 6, equals 2 alpha beta. Alpha beta is negative 3. Once you got this, we can put it inside this equation. So therefore, your quadratic equation would be x squared minus alpha plus beta is still 2, is still 2 here, right? So we put it inside. Then your alpha beta is minus 3. The result is equal 0. Okay? All right. Now, moving on. The next one. Quadratic function here, where p is a constant, has a minimum value of -2. Find the possible value of p. Okay, so what do? I can complete the square, right? To find out the minimum. So how to complete the square? Remember, you're going to take 2p here. You divide by 2. You add this number, 2p divided by 2. Then you square it, and you minus it off. Then you minus p plus 4, right? Now, why do I do that? Because the first 3 terms, I need to combine them and write this as x plus p squared minus p squared minus p plus 4. Remember, the one outside the bracket represent your minimum value, right? So my y minimum is negative p squared minus p plus 4, and it's now equals to -2. This is given. Bring everything to the right-hand side. Your p squared plus p minus 6 is now 0. We can double bracket factorize. Your factor of 6 should be 3 and 2 plus and minus. So p is 2 or -3. A possible value. So here have two answers. Two answers for p, -2, -3, and quadratic equation. So Kamal wants to plant some vegetable on a rectangular piece of land with an area of 10. So we can draw a rectangular piece of land, area of 10. The length of land is 3 meters longer than twice the length of the breadth. So the breadth, let it be x. The length is 3 meters longer. So it's 2x plus 3. Okay. So calculate the length and breadth of the piece of land, correct to 2 decimals. So we just multiply together length times breadth, right? Okay. It must be equals to 10. Now, when they say correct to 2 decimal places, so we know we cannot factorize. Yeah. Surely we have to use quadratic formula or complete the square to solve it. So let's just expand the bracket. Okay. If you cannot factorize, we use minus b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac divide by 2a. So that will give us, let me just continue here, minus 3 plus minus 9 plus 80, 89, right? Divide by 4. Okay. Right. So use your calculator. Now, we cannot take negative value. So I think we can just straight away ignore the negative. -3 minus square root 89 is definitely going to be negative. So we take the positive square root 89 divided by 4. I got 1.61. 2 decimal place. X is 1.61 in meter. Okay, that's it. Okay, sorry, we are finding length and breadth. This is just the breadth. Okay, maybe I just write this first. So your breadth is 1.61 meter. The length is 2 times 1.61 plus 3. Use your calculator. Times 2 plus 3. Just take the nearest, right? 6.22. 6.22, 6.22 meter. That's it. That's your length and your breadth. Okay. Now let's keep going. That is part A only. Let's look at part B. It is given that fx is this. Fx is less than 0 when x between p and 2p, where h and p, h, k, p are constant. Express k in terms of h. So if you've seen something like this, actually we can just turn it into a quadratic equation if you want. This is a quadratic inequality, right? That they give us the roots. The roots are between p and 2p. I can show you two methods. One is by using inequality, solving quadratic inequality. We know when it's less than 0, the region that we have to shade should be where? Below. Then we move it up. It's in between. But we don't, of course, go and draw and write the answer, because answer is this, right? What we want is to work backwards. We know the roots are p and 2p, and this is less than 0. Okay. Take this, expand it. You should get x squared. Minus 2x minus 1x is minus 2px minus 1px is minus 3px plus 2p squared less than 0. Now, this is also your fx, and it's also less than 0. Just copy down here, and we can compare. So here we are supposed to express k in terms of h. That means we don't want p. So what we can do is we start by comparing coefficient of x, the number in front of x, right? You will get the coefficient is minus 3p. You equate with h. So we say h equals minus 3p. Leave it out. Equation number 1. Second one, you want to compare a constant. Constant is the one without any x. In this case, it's 2p squared equals to k. So k equals to 2p squared. Now, remember, at the end of the day, you want k in terms of h. We don't want p, right? So you need to make p as a subject and substitute, right? Or maybe I should just, from equation 1, make p as a subject minus h over 3, right? You can cut short your working and don't write like that. You can straight away, right from equation 1, you make p as a subject. So I just sub 3 in 2. Your p is 2 minus h over 3 square. When you square the h becomes positive, 3 squared becomes 9. P is 2 over 9h squared. Okay, second method is kind of similar in a way, because we don't want to use inequality. We can also use SOR PR, because I know this is a quadratic inequality, but at x-axis, right, your fx or your y is 0, right? So when your fx is 0, maybe I write fx, your fx is 0. The roots becomes p and 2p. Isn't this to represent the root? Yeah, it is the root of quadratic equation. This is a quadratic inequality. Yes, when you have less than, more than, is inequality. But when you let it be 0, it becomes an equation. So your equation will be x squared plus hx plus k equals 0. And you already have the roots. So we can say your SOR, sum of roots, is minus h over 1, right? Now immediately make p a subject. 3p equals to minus h. P is minus h over 3, which is your equation number 3, isn't it? Right? And then what's your POR? Take the two roots, multiply together, you get k. K is 2p squared. Isn't it your equation number 2? Right? So from here, you sub inside. Don't write so many steps because it's the same. Right? You square it. K is 2h squared over 9. Yeah, you got your k in terms of h as well. Very much. Sorry, I just wrote this wrongly. Equation 3, right, is k. Sorry, this is k. K equals to p. Yeah, I just misread. I wrote the wrong one. Yeah, thank you, Annie. So k is 2h squared over 9. That's the correct answer. Thank you. So quadratic equation 3x squared plus p minus 1 bracket x plus 2q has roots of alpha over 2 beta of 2. Alpha plus beta is 6. Alpha beta is 8. Find p and q. Okay, so we can use our SOR. the roots are alpha over 2, beta over 2, right? So you add together, the formula is minus b, p minus 1 over a. And we know alpha plus beta is 6. So we want to use this result, alpha plus beta over 2. This negative, you can choose to multiply inside. That will become 1 minus b over 3. Since you know alpha plus beta, which is 6, I'm going to put 6 inside, right? Inside, right? So this will be 3, right? 3 times 3 will give us 9. My p is 1 minus 9, negative 8. Yeah, p is negative 8. All right, then we do our POR. I've done my SOR, sum of roots. Let's do our product of roots. Your roots are the same, alpha over 2, beta over 2. The result is C over A. C is 2Q, A is 3. So this is alpha beta over 4 equals 2Q over 3. Now, again, you know your alpha beta is 8, is given. So 8 over 4 is 2Q over 3. 8 over 4 is 2, right? Okay, I do a bit slower. We can actually take 2 divided by 2, which is 1. 1 times 3, Q is just 3. Okay, this is fairly easy, right? Okay. All right, so we read the next question first. If you haven't done, please continue writing for your part A. All right, so we have a second part. A ball is thrown vertically upwards from a point A. Point A is located 2 meters vertically above point O on the ground level. So maybe I do a sketch for you. It looks like this. The ball is thrown from a point A. It is vertically 2 meters above point O. This is point O. Okay. The height of the ball above ground level in meter after t seconds can be modeled by quadratic function ht. The ball reaches a maximum height of 6 after 1 second. So this is your ht versus t graph. Okay. Now express ht in this form. So what we want is we want to form a quadratic equation in vertex form, this vertex form. So what we can do is we can start by writing the minimum maximum. ht has a maximum, right? What's the maximum? Okay, you can use this one, guys. You can use this one based on this. What's the maximum? Your maximum is q, right? When the one inside the bracket is 0, t is p. So based on my sketch or the information from the graph, my maximum is 6. And my p, it happens when t is 1, right? So your p is 1. If I know my t, I know my q, I know my p and my q, I put it inside. My ht is now a t minus 1 square plus 6. Okay, that's my function. All right, but we haven't finished yet. We need to find your a value. To find a value, we need to sub in a coordinate. Yeah, if you remember in my class, I said you cannot sub in the maximum point, because if you sub in maximum point, what happened? If you sub in 1 inside, what happened? This will be 0. You will get a times 0, which end up nothing, right? Can you find a? You can't, right? This is 6 equals to 0 plus 6. Yeah, so we are not going anywhere. So what we want is we want to find another point. This point A here in coordinate terms is 0, 2. So your ht is 2 when your t is 0. So 2 equals to a plus 6. A is negative 4. Right? Okay, so once you know your a, right, I can now take this a, put it inside. ht is negative 4, t minus 1 square plus 6. Okay. All right, guys, I got this ready, right? Now, next, find the time for it to reach the ground. Now, it will reach the ground at one point when h is 0. So I'm going to let h be 0, right? ht be 0. Find the time when it reaches the ground. So you bring over 4 of t minus 1 square is now 6. I bring it over, bring to the right hand side. I divide by 4. When you divide by 4, 6 divided by 4 is 3/2. You square root it. Do you need to put plus minus? I think no. Why? Because t is always more than 0, right? But this doesn't matter. We just count. We take the positive one, which is 1 plus set 3/2. Yeah. 1 minus set 3/2 is negative, right? So yeah, 1 minus set 3/2 is going to be negative. Right? Time can't be negative. Take the positive one, which is 2.22. Yeah, my t is 2.22. Okay.
That's the end of the discussion for this paper. If you found this to be helpful, remember to like, subscribe, and share this video. For more practice questions, you can get our Form 4 MS Topical Practice Book from Taliti through our Shopee or Lazada site, as you can see from the screen here. The link is in the description below. See you guys in the next video.